family them on a good afternoon. I hope say any side una fen una self na this world, whether the morning, whether na evening time, whether na afternoon. I hope say una all they do well. You know, about a month ago, I asked one single question. One single question, the answer where I get from that question, they now lead to the show where we all sit on Ayaso for today. The answer where I get back, make a question certain things them, and then I push and say, okay, how we go able get with parliamentarians them, or some of we parliamentarians them for can sit down with we and for can talk with we and for can explain some of the thing them where they go on a parliament and some of the thing them where they go on at the country where we not know, where sometimes we not get clear understanding, but then go able explain unto we and we go able ask them questions so that way we all go there na the same level. We all go get the same understanding. Well, fambul them, it's been it don't take 3 weeks, 4 weeks now, and I don't walk behind the scene tranga one. And I want to tell the person who helped me walk behind the scene tranga one, Honorable Abdul Kagbo, for in relentless efforts in really trying to make us secure all the other honorable them where una go see today na. It was indeed a collaborative effort, now being indeed, you know, working together as a team. Today, we dey expect 4 honorables them. One pandem we still not able reach a mate is still not able join with. But make I assure una say Honorable Abdul Kagbo den are the host, Honorable Mustafa Selu den are the host. Honorable, yes, I know say this one so now they wait for make a talk and yes, I can confirm Honorable Dr. Kande Kole Yunkela, self then are the host right now. So make an always much time. Una not go able see some of them na video right now because again, sometimes we multitask, sometimes you know things then they beyond we control where we not able to manage. But they have given their word and they are here and we are grateful for that. Later on, una go see them a video, but for now, just because of waiting they go on at the back, una not go able to see all of them a video. Make a tell, give me panelists them we present right now. Make them tell fambul the adu even before we sit down inside the talk sober one. Honorable Abdul Kagbo, tell fambul the adu.
Mi fambula unado mina honorable Abdul Kagbo.
Okay. I want for make we go to Honorable Dr. Kande Kole Yunkela, tell fambule adu.
Fambule una good evening, una good afternoon, depending on who's on a day.
Okay, and now I go to Honorable Selu. Honorable Selu, tell fambule adu.
Fambula Onado, Mina Honorable Mustafa Selu, represent Constituency 95, Namwemba District.
Okay. Okay, when I don't hear all the honorable and don't tell we I do, even as the other honorable go join we. Later on, when in safe camp, I go make una tell them I do. So make I take una back. About 1 month ago, we been get the turning of the sword and, you know, the launching of the expansion of the airport, the current airport. And then I received an audio where inside that audio, the Honorable Abdul Kagbo been they explain, say, how Ingo for go attend this event here, so, and then they not let him in. And he explained all the sequence of events that will happen. But then inside there, somehow, I reach inside the parliament talk and I say, okay, how is it that Una as a parliamentarian, Una go approve this kind deal? Just an extension of an airport for 270 million, where the building of a new airport was just 350 million. I say, let us look at the mathematics. A new airport, an extension. I'm like, how was this approved in Parliament? And then the answer coming, Parliament did not approve this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Are you not there to do oversight? Are you not there to approve such things? If, you know, in our camp puts, because eventually now the Sierra Leonean people them, now we the taxpayers them. And when I say we, yes, I know say some people then go say, hey Matilda, if you don't have Canada, also you they pay tax. No, I do pay my taxes in Sierra Leone. Every year, me city rate, me NRA, and they pay on a SALONE. So yes, we the taxpayers them. Now we eventually get for pay them bills there so. And then we go deeper into the conversation. And then it say, we as parliamentarians, they know they get subsidies or not they get funding for do things in our constituency anymore. It say because we are parliamentarians, they win a lawmaker them. It say as a matter of fact, now a group of some of we can together, we they use we own personal fund, we put into something like a basket fund or the kitty, then every month one person take from the kitty and go help in community, which I find, I've been finding that a little bit disturbing. But then there were callers who call, again, callers them, we're not inside parliament, we're not a parliamentarians, them, we're not represent any form of constituency, them, we challenge this notion. And then I said to Honorable Abdul Kagbo, let me bring in other parliamentarians who can either debunk, who we go either say yes, now so they happen, or not so they be, now this they be. So today we they are so with them. And on all welcome. I go to Honorable Kande Kole Yunkela. Honorable Yunkela. So far, waiting you feel say they go on na parliament, and waiting you feel say parliament they do the work where parliament supposed for do, or you feel say parliament in anti for do the work where parliament supposed for do.
Well, thank you very much. I see all the context and background now why you constitute the panel, but let us go to the substance of your question. Chapter 6 from section 73, table about a little over section 100. Now they describe to people then that the Constitution, 1991 Constitution, waiting Parliament set up for and waiting Parliament for do. Parliament in role number 1, section 73, now for make law for the country. Second, now for do oversight, for make sure say it be a good check on executive power. Any government na any country lack beaucoup power. They lack for do things. So that oversight role is important. One, for make sure say they know they exceed them power. Number 2, for do oversight means say then for monitor waiting the government they do, because now we also they do what we call appropriations. Now we they give government money where government for spend. So if we they give them money for spend, we also foresee how then they use the money, and now we they approve. If you ask, we still as a parliament they evolve, and with parliament now a hybrid between waiting in America and waiting in England, but it's mainly more like an American with the president they make. So far, if you look on specific functions, we don't do it part of our job. We don't approve the people that we bring. We don't approve a lot of laws. We don't ratify a lot of agreements with countries. We don't do this side way we handicap, for example, now the oversight indeed as
we get a little of issues with the audio.
You very good now. Hello.
Okay, yeah, better.
Hello.
Yes, better.
Yeah. We handicap on the oversight function for a number of reasons. Sometimes, yes, now a resource question, money no kinde. for let we do proper oversight. Some other thing then they now about capacity and technical capacity for let you able go into a sector and really examine and well whether na agriculture, energy, water resources, environment. You need technical capacity where other parliament then get. What do I mean by that? The parliamentarian not necessarily an expert in them fields then they. So you need technical capacity within the parliament where they do analysis for una, even before you say they go do oversight. You need that technical capacity there of parliament for lay parliamentarians even able to challenge some of the bills that where government they bring. Recently, I should say some of you see the video when they bring the finance bill where we debate right now. Now that's not the thing where I raise. I say unlike the Ghana parliament, we then get a solid economic research unit plus a solid budget office where World Bank don't finance, we're able even give commission their own research on sectors for let them make sure say then they make even proposals when government counter proposals when government come. So we not getting technical capacity then they second. Parliamentarians in other countries, they all get assistance, yeah? If you go Ghana, they get like two each. Then get their offices. We own some parliamentarians get office, but the bulk no get office. In other countries, no, like Ghana. This now from Nkrumah in term, because I don't visit the Ghana parliament. Then get their offices, then get their assistants, then get parliamentary aid. Of course, we no go one compare with Canada or US or UK, who say some of one a day. But we they try for comparing with other countries. So waiting me they talk about now the capacity for parliamentarians to be effective. So then they try, but we parliament not reach that maturity level yet where you go see. But so far so good, as I say, we don't do what we able to do. There are limitations also in some ways the way we they do parliamentary practice. For example, some of we believe say forgive, especially with young parliamentarians, and the freedom for express their own genuine views for sake of the country. Sometimes and we forget secret ballots, where then they vote their conscience, they know they vote party position. So we get some of them challenges. Number two, we for able for tolerate what we call private member bills, not a government normal for bring law in a parliament. Private members then for bring them, but like me, I don't send one at parliament now since September, waiting at the constraint. Now government for give authorization for let them publish your bill. And the law clear, no law no they can at parliament for let them debate if they're not on publish and at the gazette. But now the government they control that one day. So what happens? If government no one lay opposition man in bill go forward, they're not the publisher. So the Nadameka say we they evolve, we they try. But we still they evolve, and me they hope say we go begin look best practices. Now other countries we go make with parliament become very effective. But so far we they try. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Yumkela. I will go over to Honorable Sello. Honorable Sello, what to make you feel say when members of the oppositions them bring proposal inside parliament, the parliament they stall the ideas or then they stall for react or for implement or for even table the bill just because they come out from the ruling party inside. What do you think is the issue, or do you think it is an issue?
Thank you very much, viewers and listeners, and thank you for moderating the program. Well, me a ruling party MP, yes, but I want for make a few clarifications here, because we function at three key functions as member of parliament, just like the Honorable Dr. Kande Yumkela talk just now where they present him make a presentation. We get the lawmaking responsibility, we as enshrined in section 105 of 1991 Constitution. We get the one when I oversight, when I for checkmate the MDAs them. We get representative role who they represent the people. Yeah. But parliament, like I just want for clarify this. Parliament not the approve laws. Yeah. We the now we the make the law. 105. Subject to the provision of this constitution, Parliament shall be the supreme legislative authority for Sierra Leone. Supreme legislative authority, what else? So we know they approve law. Now make they make the law. Because where policymaker you can't just approve then that other thing. So the question we ask, well, me not get idea of that unless if you get say oppositions and they come with they raise issues or they come with they present bills they forestall the party because they come from really party. I don't know about that anyway. The only time we I hear but that I think honorable can be talk because before they do that thing, there are procedures you have to follow through the clerk's office and that of the leader of government business and other engagement we get for doing. But probably if honorable candidate don't talk this, honorable KQ don't talk this, probably it could be say na procedural issues of which me not aware of. Say they get a private member because once about parliament all over the world go very good that you did at the West now lobby. If honorable candidate even do a private member bill for table in a parliament, I think enough not be a secret, enough not be a surprise to me or to any honorable member. Because if I don't lobby colleagues them around, because like they talk about secret ballots, if I'm not convinced, if somebody don't see me, so if you just take them at that level, because it's about engagement at different level. You engage the executive, you engage the top parliamentary leadership, if they engage the parliamentary administrative wing, if they engage colleagues, lobby. So when you come, you go get and tell, but until you maybe know the content of what you want to do. I don't know if it is genuine, if it is something that has to do with national development, something to do with what's the benefits where the country will stand for get. So then if I'm not convinced, then I will not vote for that. But moving forward, I think say honorable candidate get for correct that if you get that kind of intention, I think enough will be a secret. Even if you're not table at it, but if I don't tell colleagues or on the party on the SLP side, because we don't know, sometimes leadership know. But me at the talk say most of the new MPs or the young ones from the ruling party will not aware of this. So when you say opposition that they table the one for table bills where they forestall, I not agree with that because evidence not there. Evidence not there. I mean,
Okay.
evidence.
Okay.
If you want back, I go read furthermore for strengthening my point on the constitutional provision where they in the 1912 Constitution. Under the same section 105, if you go down a bit, 106, it says the power of Parliament to make laws shall be exercised by bill passed by Parliament and signed by the President. So there are two ways we it account bill. A could be from a government when the minister, the presenter, they do a first reading, a second reading. If we thought and fit a debatable and pass it to law, okay, do if we thought and fit okay, revert that, okay, send it back to a committee of legislative, legislative committee. Also, they go watch line by line. When I pre-leg, they go watch line by line, letter by letter, sentence by sentence. We'll do it for do. Then the draftsman go there, the ministry responsible go there, they do what they for do. Then they go counter back for for presidential committee stage. We read them back, then we can pass it into law. The private member in back now that way. So these are two. But the only thing the private member they get a certificate where they clerk the issue, it go with them, just like the one for the the government bill. So all this they happen in an environment where you get the rules and regulations are followed. They allow Taliban. There's a provision again, even when the president asked for a bill for level to turn at act, because nothing unless the president signed, then it could turn to act when a law. But if that don't happen, they're not going to turn to law. But again, if there's a law we say we need for part, for instance, the president reject them, the parliament get power for cover that law. The speaker who can invoke the relevant section, the speaker can sign, then it turn into law. So we need to understand all of these dynamics. So it's about lobby and engagement at different levels. Yeah.
Okay.
Over to you. I will pause for now.
Okay. Lobby and engagement on different levels. So, Honorable Cargo, so Honorable Selo, they say, so in your knowledge, in your aware, say, bills then they come off from the opposition side and that they are being stalled within Parliament, that it's about lobbying, it's about, coordination and whatnot. In your view, is the Parliament, as we know it, functioning the way it was designed to function? And if not, what are some of the... Okay, I think is the Parliament really designed to function the way it was supposed to function? And I want to make you also speak to Honorable Selo. He said he's not aware, and not being aware doesn't mean it doesn't happen. He said he has not seen any evidence of it. Then they talk and based on your experience. So make I pass the question over to you.
Parliamentary experience.
Yes, parliamentary experience. Yes.
Basically, the essence of Parliament now for probe into the functions of the executive. Parliament get three traditional functions, as Dr. Kande Koleyunkwela they say. Firstly, na oversight. That for monitor the money wey then they give MDs for make sure say they use them judiciously, and for also make sure say we monitor the affairs them. And the second one na for make law. But say Parliament can always almost busy. And if Parliament busy, not to all law we dey able make. Some law then they with the left hand na the MDA, the ministry, department, agency, then can do and through the line ministry say law make this law. And waiting at the advantage where then they make their own law, then get the prerequisite expertise because now their own field. So then can able make the law we go able stand the test of time because then get their own prerequisite expertise. Yeah. That kind law the way then they make them carry it in a parliament, now and then called delegated legislation. Then they make them count with them. The law the way now we as parliament now we they make, yeah. But you ask me a very sensitive question, whether parliament they function the way parliament function. A very clear say, parliament, now for make sure say they approve ministers them, they approve government budgets, they monitor, and the people then vote this trip unique way. How they vote? SLPP get the executive arm of government. Then APC get the majority, now the legislative arm of government. So if government for fail, you go blame APC, you go blame SLPP. Because APC gets 68 members of parliament for control parliament. So meaning any major decision where they come out in parliament for be approved by parliament, and then people like say no, well, let APC take over parliament, then let SLPP take over the executive. So if SLPP for undertake any other project, APC for approve and force na parliament. You see, that was the unique way people learn vote, and that kind of voting the unprecedented, ever happen in SALONE history. For let the minority party, for let the party who lost the election get the majority seat, or for let the ruling government get the minority seats in parliament. And with him don't test them. If parliament, the way parliament then design parliament, for don't work by the way then design parliament, it would have been unprecedented. 2023 will not for castigate any political party. But let me tell you what happened. Yeah, when we go vote the speaker, just because they know say APC gets the majority of members of parliament, and the constitution is very clear. in section 83, he said the first sitting where we get, now that day we vote for the Speaker of Parliament. So meaning, where NEC don't approve you, they don't get you name. NEC don't give you letter, say, yeah, you're a member of Parliament. You automatically get right for participate now the Speaker's election. You know, whether you take the oath now, you not subscribe the oath now, you get right for participate. But
okay, we're having some.
Go vote for the Speaker. Then you move. You they get me?
Okay, now you're back. Yeah.
You they get me now?
Yes.
Yeah. They remove 16 members of Parliament from the opposition. What to make they remove them? They say because the ruling party go petition them. The ruling party petition 16 members of Parliament from the opposition. The opposition petition 32 members of Parliament from the ruling party. So if we mean they feel say, if they mean they give injunction, because waiting at the rule for injunction, when you injunct anybody, you tell and say no, not participate, no, not take part. If you don't deprive the person of anything, we make you tell and say wait, you deprive her of anything, something the way from me don't get, we make you not get her. If later on una talk the case, the person not guilty, una they pay the damage of all waiting the person don't lose. Yeah. So we say, if before you go injunct the one that way for participate na the election, you understand? Injunct the election. Because if you can't injunct them, you say no, let them not vote na the election. Then tomorrow I can't be say some of them not be guilty of the crime where they commit. You understand? That means say you don't deprive them unfairly. And I assure you, then 16 members then they where they injunct. Sunday where them fans say they're not guilty, but they mean deprive them not for participate in the Speaker's election. You see, and what happened? The 32 in petitions of the opposition, they not even watch them, they not even touch them. So what they end up for do? They remove 10 members of the opposition just for make sure say SLPP gets the majority in parliament. You understand? And when party then a government, it gets the majority in a parliament. Una just full and full foot because anything where the government wants, now in parliament they do. Because waiting then a government, now they back in a parliament. Most of the things then a party office then they agree. Where then can implement them. You see, so outside waiting and bug we parliament in normal running. Now the first thing and day where because then deprive members of parliament who were legitimately voted in, whose names were gazetted, who were certified by NEC, not for participating at the election. But quite apart from that, there, the standing orders we use in parliament is very clear and instructing. The standing orders get majority leader, again minority leader. But waiting and do in we absence, then change and say to opposition leader and leader of government business. And parliaments no waiting at opposition leader, now majority leader and minority leader. That is common in most parliaments and at the British parliament system. Now we deal with na SALONE. Yeah, but then change the salary where the majority leader forget, now then give out to the leader of government business. Then the salary where the minority forget, now then give to the opposition. Just because they change the nomenclature and for let them get things done. And from that day, they won't make that mistake. There is nothing where the ruling government wants let done now parliament. And so not be done. Anything where the ruling government the way them will not be done. So to me, parliament not the function the way parliament for function. Because parliament for be critical, parliament for be objective, parliament not for the always answer to government say yes, 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 yes. Anything government there is not on record. Any bill where government don't go with, where parliament go reject, where this that, or any appointments where government don't make, where we go say no, Lord turn this down because this not qualify or this not meet up to the because the executive and the legislative arm of government, then they synchronize, then they gel, then get a common meeting point. You see, so sometimes and they say, if minister do something we not for do, or if any heads of ND do something we don't for do, if parliament want probe into program properly, then go say, hey, oh man, now party man this so, oh man, now party man this so, oh man, now party man this so. So it don't unbug the system. So the question we ask if parliament they operate the way parliament for operate, I go say vehemently say no. Parliament, not the we parliament, SALONE parliament, not the operates the way we parliament for operates because our parliament is not objective, our parliament is not critical. Now that make anything we government want, it go through our parliament.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Kagbo. I will go to Honorable Yunkela, Dr. Yunkela. I want for ask this question. When immediately after the election, we notice say the majority in a parliament na been the leading opposition party when I been APC. And then the minority in a parliament na been the current ruling party when a APC. As a matter of fact, we've been get a hunk parliament, we mean say we've been get people them from different side and where they all kind inside the basket. So for we the diaspora and I should say for most of the people them Sierra Leone and then they been really been they look forward to an exceptional parliament, a parliament with dynamic, a parliament with versatile, a parliament where it gets all the mix them inside. So no one person no go monopolize anything. But then, as we notice from the voting of the Speaker of Parliament and all of the issues that will ensue after that, where most of the night, Honorable Kagbo don't lay at the table, I want to ask this question. From where they observe from afar, we notice say every time a letter is put forward, we say it has pleased the president. We know one day ever see parliament come back and say, even though it has pleased the president, as a legislative or body, we feel say it may have pleased you, but within our operation, within the remit of we operation, in not please we see say nothing other way the president don't pass go na parliament or appointment where it don't make, where parliament don't kick back or push back and say no, and because of this reason. Why is that? Because some of the nominees them quite honestly I think are a bit questionable.
The premise where you give very accurate. 2018 elections give a parliament where the opposition they in the majority. And if you look the opposition, not only APC, that's not the point where Honorable Abdul make, they also change the composition, then bring in other parties, then bring in C4C, then bring in NGC, then bring in independents.
Right.
So indeed, the people of Sierra Leone, they want a mixture. Probably then they look the future, then they look a future for SALONE, where they believe say more diversity for the issues there around the world, very complicated. So indeed, you need a diverse parliament for deal with some of the issues of the 21st century. So a part of waiting then they happen now, we also not make parliament the function well, is that the parliament self not able to come to terms, especially APC and SLPP, not come to terms with the fact say other parties exist. So even what we call standing orders, the way parliament for function, then they only look at in terms of two parties, a governing party and an opposition party, not even opposition parties. So we believe, say, yes, that's anachronistic, not inconsistent with the times. For say, yes, minority parties will come. Some countries, then there's some party, then they form them just because they want to protect the environment for the future generations. So then the typical na Europe. So they hear about the Greens. Una self na North America, you see the environmental issues, they dominate now because everybody around the world concerned but waiting the earth where we go hand over to the next generation. So parties can form around very specific agenda items. Yeah, some can be for social issues. Some then are purely on conservative economics. So indeed, 2018 also said to SALONE, people then want to see diversity in parliament. So they are even vote for two other parties, and also, which means we need for change with processes now, so that we go include terminology where they look the future, say additional party then get for can. So that's not just a context where they want to waiting Honorable Abukagbo been don't say, and which you say. Now, You say with a number of things don't can a parliament where we not send back to Mr. President, say we not agree. To be very honest, the majority of waiting don't come. We not necessarily reject them, but yes, you hear with colleague Sel will talk about pre-legislative sessions. We can take them into pre-leg, that's what we can call them, where it means say the minister don't present until we take an in hand, we give committee for examining them for we. In that examination process, we invite, we open unto the public, and we listen to public, and we go line by line. We just finished one 10 days ago with the chief minister, the new peace commission, line by line. It take with 3, 4, 5 hours. Sometimes in that pre-leg day, 2, 3 days. So instead of rejecting a bill, now that makes Selu make a very good point. We know they approve, we they make law. So when you bring a bill, if side and the way we know like, we they amend. Waiting more we need for C, actually. Waiting more we need for C. Now an opportunity where sometimes and even if we don't pre-leg, we come back into the chamber. When we debate, we can amend back. I mean, recently, I know say some of you now watch Brexit, when they debate Brexit. One great net been there, then they take midnight, we then do about 7 or 9 amendments to the Brexit agreement. And each time then they vote on individual amendments. Sometimes and then a one line. Yes. Then they vote on each one. And when they get what we call contention, meaning when they say ayes and nays, the speaker say, it look like say we divided. Then a contention. Then come on, I don't know to so. When they come back, then go back, then heap, then vote. So then go to and say, then see which amendment really carry. Me feel say that one they will not they get, will not they do one well. Now that make Honorable Selu, they talk about that secret ballot. Forgive people the opportunity. This, you know, they always get for follow party line. You know, we don't see then Senator McCain, we don't see na America, we don't see Mitt Romney. Even in UK, they see something and the conservative then vote against government because they get free win. Yeah, come on, the two colleagues then come on at the big party. Sometimes they then get for 2 party line. But me know some of them, the young one, and then they mean well. Then sometimes they then really the challenge. They don't want just to line. You know, they in my own view, a young parliamentarian not for going to parliament just for say agree. You for go there genuinely sometimes and say they put me nation first. The party says so, but me no agree. And now that we don't see or reach over for, again, collaborate, even with the opposition for propose some things. Make a clarify something where Selu say, yes, Honorable Selu, right? He's not aware. When me don't test the system. Now me don't draft a bill 2018, July. I don't care and go for publish, just before them for publish and then stop her. So Mr. Selu, I'm talking about what I have done. Yeah. I don't repeat and back this year. Yes, I not go public because now we dey negotiate behind the scenes for do other things with some of the same ideas. But yes, I need it to be known that opposition say fulfill that way. And that's me the hope say we will get a vibrant opposition. When sometimes we self they sit down, they draft bill, care and go. We not they wait for minister for can. Some of we go inside parliament with knowledge, ideas, and we they consult. So something and the way we self one propose for society. We're good for society. What's in me the challenge? In terms of procedure now, Standing Order 47 say before a bill, then before you lay in a parliament, then for don't gazette. Who gazettes? Now the government gazette office. Who authorizes them to gazette? If opposition cares on this now waiting me know where I don't do now twice. I don't go na government printers where the man say, doctor, I know they even take an yuan until I get clearance. Hello, the constitution give me that power as lawmaker. So I can write a bill. Once I know cost person, then gazette. And why you the gazette? For let the public see them. And the Standing Order even tell you how many days. It say you the gazette and force. Then you go na parliament, you give notice of motion of the bill. Then later now all man know. Then gazette them a second time. Why? Then one make sure say the public, they even tell you say enough will be less than 9 days between the two gazetting. So for give people adequate time for examine whether in fact they elect which you don't write. What here they say is the bureaucracy and political process they stifle that creativity there of opposition members. Others not trying it.
There's a lot of
But
red tape.
There is red tape, but there is also this authorization. We not need authorization from government for letting gazette something where we as parliamentarians don't write, or we don't get to illegal people.
Constitution makes it clear.
Very clear. Section 108, go on. I mean, we take with time for look section 108, SO 47, like a me own party. Fortunately, I get a lot of educated people and lawyers. So we take with them, we write them, we make sure, say, we send ahead. So I don't do one twice. I don't do one 2018. Last minute, it is stopped. I don't try and back about a week, I mean, a month and a half ago. The man tell me clear, sorry, doctor. You know, it didn't be the last thing. So this one, I get for wait like a clearance. I say, so would I forgive clearance? He tell me, I said, they left right now, go to your office. Now, of course, that means you're putting control. As an opposition party, nobody controls our ideology and beliefs. But wait here I do, because as Seluk accurately say, it's about lobbying. I've been lobbying for 2 years. 2 years, my brother. Second, so I take another approach. I say, all right, I'm not going to make it an issue, but I'm going to again negotiate. And I'm negotiating now. And I hope that some of the ideas will be picked up now in the constitutional review process. At least we don't get that understanding. Yeah. But I just highlight, because my colleagues, they don't even know this. But me decide for test the system. And that is important. Because a day you they see democracy, they work. Like you, the moderator, you can say, look, Dr. Yumkela, we feel say there should be a law like this, but we will not the parliament. So we want to give Una, then you can give Abdul, you can give Selu. Can you work on this and make it law? If he like him as an individual, yes, he work with other people, he go consult law offices, he send them forward. Parliament can agree or parliament no agree. That process, I believe, should be more liberalized. Ghana just do it, because Ghana had similar issues. In fact, when they modified the procedure 3 months ago, and I Mr. Session to the speaker, I say, hey, speaker, Ghana is making even more moves to encourage more private member bills. If you want to know the content of what they try to propose, I can tell you. But yes, fortunately, as I say,
I
they
go
negotiate.
Make you hold on there first and see the show they go. I go make you hold on first. Are they come? Are they can they? But you know, I want to go to you know, Honorable Selo. You know, like I say, for me, I always, even me show last night, I say something. I said to test the veracity of a law and to test the veracity of a constitution or an act, you have to put it, you get for put and through, you know, the ringers. You get for try them. If you not try them, the law just sit on there. How you gonna say it they work? You go say, yes, the law they, the law this, the law that. But until you put and to test, now that 10 day you don't know in substance, now that 10 day you don't know in veracity, now that 10 day you don't know in strength, now that 10 day you go know if indeed that law they work or they work, if that law they get flaws or not get flaws. But I mean, to your point, you say this is something where you not be know, and I mean I not go fault you, because not to all thing you go know, right? Something and they will go escape you, even as you know a parliamentarian. Some things escape you. You know you guys have a lot to do and whatnot. But I want to ask you a question. In this particular junction, I know say you know, Honorable Yunkela make a very important point where he say, you know, some people within Parliament get technical know-how. And also, in order for do oversight, you know, you need technical capacity. Sometimes the people with the technical know-how they don't conduct, they don't come, they don't bring the analysis. And then, as parliamentarian, una go look through the methodology and whatnot, and then una go in una oversight, una prepare for that question. Now, my question is, do you feel say the Sierra Leone Parliament, the current government, the capacitates the parliamentarians them for do proper oversight in the way where they're supposed for do them, or waiting missing, or waiting we need for do for enable with parliamentarians them for do proper oversight so that the entire nation will benefit? Okay, I don't know if he's speaking. If he's speaking, we can't hear him.
Hello.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. Before I go to your question, I want for throw light on a few issues here on constitutionality and the standing orders of parliament. Yeah. Honorable Kabo say the people of Sierra Leone voted for SLPP to handle the executive and APC to handle the legislative wing of the governance system in this country. We not a president, not ever, like President don't said, will not ever happen in the history of this country. I just want to make you know this. There's a day for the election. Yeah, Section 83 make them very clear that the first sitting of Parliament, members therefore take oath, members therefore vote for the Speaker. Yes, an injunction can. I don't know when the opposition party, when an APC, submitted the injunction, but I know say my own party, where they represent the Parliament, when the SLPP, we don't do the preparation and don't present. So the court injunction come to the clerk when we get alternative, but for put a hold on the 16 members, not for participate. Let me take you to the constitutional provision of 76. 776B. No person shall be qualified for election as a member if he is a member of any commission established under the Constitution or a member of the armed forces of a republic or the public office or any employee of a public corporation established by an act of parliament or has been such member, officer or employee within 12 months prior to the date of which he seeks to be elected to parliament. Section 76B of the 1991 Constitution make it very clear. You are talking about good governance. How do we strengthen? How do we ensure that democracy is at play? The parliament uphold democracy and the rule of law. You, as a member of parliament, as an intended aspirant, you want for contest. You know, say you are working for an institution without established by an act of parliament. They say prior to the time when you seek for this election, 12 months if you don't resign, because you are being paid from a consolidated form. If person not resign, he work he wait on 9 months, wait on 8 months, wait on 7 months, some on 3 months. Some they resign on paper, but still it actively they take salary up to 4 months to elections. Then if they get proof, sufficient proof through the Accountant General Department, through your bank statement and all the rest of it. So tell me, do we want to compromise legal issues because of we don't want for hot people? No, it's a bad precedent. It's a very bad one. So I want we just put a hold on that, because as far as I'm concerned, the case went to courts and the courts passed ruling on 10. The others not to just now 16 members in the petition. 5 survived, 10 go. One of my colleagues them, now my friends them, some of my personal friends them. I'm not happy for that. But now the rule of law, now that the law say. So the therefore accept that. One, the call for a rerun, will happen on the 12th of this month, when our constituency 110, when our Gorich, Western Rural. So that issue there about SLPP play game for letting get more vote, more people, parliamentarians, in order to my knowledge, yeah. Me no say they go through the legal procedure and it happened that way. And once the court don't pass a judgment on that, you get right for appeal, and they don't appeal, they don't go appeal court as well. So this is our constitutional, and by we constitution self, we're not for to discuss this by the standing orders of parliament. We're not for to discuss because it no matter where we don't appeal. But let's forget about that. Now let's come to Honorable Kanda Yumkela. If you go to standing order if you go to Standing Order 47.
I would actually appreciate if you answer the question I asked rather than going back to something they've said, because for me, I want to utilize the time as best as possible for make the people the way they watch the show gain a lot out of it. So these are nitty gritties within Parliament and within the Constitution that, if time permits, we can talk about, but I really, really appreciate for me we zone into the questions then.
We are zooming in. We are zooming on the questions right now. But again, we have to be very fair, because this is a live debate. We are going live. So absolutely. if as a real impact, it's like I am at the center of all of this debate, because my two colleagues, with due respect, they are representing opposition parties, irrespective of we are all members of Parliament. But I'm on the government side. That doesn't mean I should see a black and call it a white. I'm calling things by the right name, but I have to make it clear again.
Okay, we've
hello.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I guess more technical each. All right. So to your point, you say if Parliament they get sufficient funds for the oversight or sufficient support from the government and the technical know-how. Yes, for instance, Honorable KKY has been in development for years and at a very high cadre in the international world. Honorable Rukabo, now an engineer, without work for a mining company. Me talking to you, I got a background in development as well. I work with a lot of international NGOs in and out of this country, Sierra Leone. I work with the plan, I work with CRS, I work with Concern in development and in WASH as a specialist. Yeah, I do proposal development, I do concept, I do all of that. I get a capacity as a member of Parliament, as a young member of Parliament. I work for over 9 years before I come to Parliament. That's my first government engagement. So we have the technical capacity in Parliament. This particular Parliament, we have the technical capacity. And the government, they allocate funds for oversight. But again, the government on side, when are through Parliament, the administrative wing, now for providing the financial resources, providing the logistics, when are the vehicle, and when they don't announce on oversight. Whatever we are doing now out in the field there with the MDAs, it is our own responsibility as members of Parliament to be sincere and to have the country at heart. This is an activity cut across. So nobody not going to say the government is doing your part, because we are always having budget. Even this budget will they actually pass through. There is a line for parliamentary support and parliamentary oversight. So that they give that money. I'm not going to say enough, but the money that they give. And what they give, we're going to feel now. Now we conscience for work with now. It's not about SLPP, it's not about APC, it's not about NGC, it's not about C4C. But now we parliamentarians, now we know for stand and say, no, let's do this. This is right, this is right, this is wrong. But we are also Sierra-Leoneans. If we don't want to do the things we will do, nobody should blame a government for what they do. You say now they go to the issues where my colleagues they raise. And you say president they send nominees, then they all pass in the parliament.
No, that's fine. You can talk about it, but I don't want to dwell too long on. Like you can raise it quickly.
Let me correct that's on that. 2019, the ombudsman, I couldn't remember the name again. A female president nominated a senator in parliament. We did not even take her to the well for approval, because we noticed that she was not qualified because she has not practiced up to 10 years as a legal practitioner. From the time she graduated to the time she practiced up to the time she was appointed, it be left few months. Yeah, so we not approve her. So she went back. So we don't get president. We don't say that president. The 200 was know about that. We not pass them. Not kind of the plenary safe. So when you say what they happen, I want for make and clear, let the viewers and know see it don't happen under this position. For the standing orders, this is a list in governments right now. As I talk, the standing orders they under review. the team don't put together a whole suggestions. Honorable Kande Yonkela, the interview, you know that they make an input on the new document where they will publish soon, and it will be a working document. So we get challenges, yes, as a government and as a parliament, but we do it best. Yeah, we do it best, and things they happen, things they change. Not always now government, which government one in they happen. We are voting, and the standing order is still not referred to, but standing order make it very clear. Standing order 46. Now voice collection. If the speaker left to him, if the speaker say now this IAE, now the 9 years. If you say you otherwise, we're not going to voting. We don't do secret ballot. We don't do for the speakership. We don't do secret ballot for the COI, and so on and so forth. The commission required for law establishment. It was a secret ballot. Everybody go ballot, and the party, the ruling party, SLPP, be able to secure a win for the constitutional instrument for go through the 3 commissions. So I don't see not to all through a voice collection. Yeah. So let we put record straight, and at the same time we can do in our parliament at the well, we can debate if we follow this budget debate, and we 3 where they right now so we all debate the Finance Act. We all debate the Finance Act and even the budget. We all participated. So, and most of the issues and where they raise as opposition, we able to clarify them. Some we are correct, some we are not too clear, but we're able to correct them, and we refer to the document itself. So please, let we just they get things straight, and so that the public will be informed adequately.
Okay, that is why you're here. You're in the walls of Parliament. I'm not in the walls of Parliament with you. And that is why you are here to speak to the Sierra Leonean people. I'm just here to ask the questions. I'm just here to probe. I'm here to go in and dig for the answers. You give them the answers. And if they're satisfied with your answer, then go make you know. If they're not satisfied with your answer, then go make you know.
Yeah, sorry, 1 minute. But you are asking questions, but you question we ask like say if you say like for the government nominees, presidential nominees, you say what one they see them all don't go through, and some are questionable. That is it. So if I don't say for me, if I don't say I may not see it, like I say for Honorable Kande Yonkela, I'm not aware, and he accepts it. I'm not aware. It don't, but me not aware, and Parliament not the parliamentarian are not aware. Now the leadership on the top, now they don't talk to. So you back forget right for say from where this government come, presidential nominees them, me not aware say anyone of the way they don't reject. But you say see no one they don't reject, they don't reject no one. So I make that correction there. Thank you. Let's go.
Yeah, that is fine. And you have you don't correct for say there's been a time when, and you don't pinpoint a time when a particular nominee go to Parliament and una no approve them. But again, I stand by the word where I say, listen, we talk to Sierra Leoneans them. We they listen to what they are saying, not what's coming from Parliament, not what the parliamentarian think or the law providers or the ministers think. We are listening to what the Sierra Leonean people are saying, and then we they bring them concerns to UNA. To the Sierra Leonean people, according to them feel say some people then don't cross Parliament, where they feel say not supposed for cross Parliament. I am not saying according to Matilda. I am saying according to what the public. So I am just know that the questions I am asking, they are not coming from Matilda. They are coming from the general concerns of either the diasporan or Sierra Leoneans in general. Okay, so I want to go to Honorable Abdul.
That was not.
I want to go to Honorable Abdul Kagbo. Honorable Abdul Kagbo, I want to ask you a question. and now Dr. Junkeler in statement, he say young parliamentarians them for be encouraged for express themselves, for express freely. He even bring about the idea of secret, ballot, secret voting. That way they then go speak their true mind, because if they speak in the open, sometimes maybe there can be, how they call them, punishment or shaking from the leaders of the party or something, or people that could be frowned upon, like where we don't see inside parliament, somebody from the opposition party begging to be restored within the ranks because he feel like, because he spoke out, he talked about something, he be shown within the ranks, he become excluded for speaking what I will say speaking is truth. And not only in one grain, we don't see also where some heavy-handedness don't come down on some people where they were very vocal within parliament. Where me feel saying as something, or where the majority of people feel saying as something where we for encourage. If we are talking about good governance, if we talk about advancing with democracy, people then can't always be on the same dissent. They can't always get the same view. A diversity of opinion, now they create and nourish, better development, better cohesion, better coexistence, and whatnot. So, waiting you feel, or waiting you want say as a young parliamentarian as well, waiting you feel say young parliamentarians then they experience within the walls of parliament from the different parties, then is there an openness and a welcoming atmosphere for make young parliamentarians then criticize, give their opinion freely, and then go turn to a backlash, go turn to the black sheep situation type scenario? Okay, so Honorable Abdul Kagbo seems for to get a bit of difficulty. I will come back with that question there. I will come back to that question there with make I go to Honorable Dr. Junkeler. Dr. Junkeler, I want to ask this question first, just for be certain before I ask the series of questions there. Parliament get the right for subpoena a minister, or not get the right for subpoena a minister or head of government agency and parastatal?
Parliament get the full right for invite. We know we invite the word is summon. We're not a subpoena, we a summon. We get the full authority for summon a minister for kind of parliament and talk to it. Yes, Parliament get that full right.
Okay, then if Parliament gets that full right, this question they go to all three of the honorables them way Sidona so, because they na 4 different sets of questions them, but I want me kuna take una time and answer them questions there so, and then questions there so come from a multitude of viewers them from the show. Where don't they ask them questions them the moment they notice say we forget this conversation. So waiting the questions them where the viewers them, a majority of the viewers them be one for no now one. Now that make I be one for clarify first if Parliament get the right for call in and make them sit down and explain. One for know why make Parliament not call in the land minister aids for ask them say why in name they make frequent rounds for do with land issues, especially within the Freetown axis, Peninsula axis and whatnot. Waiting why making as a minister in name frequently they come up in scenarios to do with land confiscation or land dispute or whatnot. The second one, they want for no. I hope all the or the rights they want also down. The second one, they want for no why make the education minister again, they not summon her into Parliament for try and figure out and see why make we they get the bad pass mark failures them where we they get for we picking them where they go take exam. Granted, not to go put all the load pan them, but a plan need for be devised for make we begin and do better moving forward, especially given the results them where we experience this year Beke and WASC. Now the WASC exam, I believe, say in the 5 core subject matter, Sierra Leone only score a percentage of 4.5% out of the thousands of Pekin away sits the exam. And the third question where they want them very concerned about now the healthcare system. Boku Pekin then they die, especially young baby them. As a matter of fact, according to some of the research where we do, Connaught and between Connaught and Cottage, there is at least infant mortality up to a number of 10 per day where they happen. Then are big numbers, and Bele woman then they die, and people then they die, you know, for things that way really they're not supposed for die of. So why make the Minister of Health not on be called in administration for consider before Parliament for really explain why the high mortality they are, especially infant mortality and maternal mortality, and why make some of the deaths that were preventable not not they happen as expected. The fourth question where they ask, now the president, give a glowing, remarks about taking care of the disabled people then. Some of the people them were concerned about some other category of disabled people them, especially the war amputees them. Concern say the government past and present, not really they put that segment of population then they and consider them as part of disabled people them, that they don't left them to, they don't abandon them to their own fate, to their own sword. So the one for no why make also Parliament not on pick up on that and say, listen, when you talk about disabilities, there are all forms of disabilities, and especially them people that also we don't pay one of the greatest cause. Why make we know they see that say at least they live a life a bit manageable until then pass off the end of the time. So now then 4 sets of questions there I want make una take.
Okay, I go answer, I will begin. For sure, I will tell you, say, a couple of months ago, we invite the Minister of Lands for a subcommittee for talk to some of we. Yeah, the speaker and I chair the meeting. In fact, it was the whole leadership of all the political parties in Parliament. We get a heavy dialogue, but of course, we expect now, say, based on that discussion, we'll go summon now for the whole House of Parliament. So I expect say that will happen. But I can assure you, say, yes, after we receive so many complaints, we don't call her in and we don't get a discussion. But the expectation where some of we get is that discussion now will come to the floor. The second one, I go assure you, say, yes, we don't already invite the Minister of Education, hopefully next week or the following week. If they can, some of we don't recommend, say like we've been do for COVID, go be just one day, quick talk we go. Some of we feel saying like 2-3 days, because education is so fundamental. And in fact, that motion they now Honorable IB Cargo of APC Mua, myself secondary from NGC, and apart from that, during the whole budget debate last week, and Parliament, so many members from SLPP, and all the parties, APC, C4C, NGC, we all believe say important for invite the minister. By the way, and me make my own point clear, we need for caller in because not to this exam no more than don't feel bad.
Right.
NPSC said them it don't feel and bad. So we don't they maybe not start my career in academia in the United States. So I know what here they talk about. We believe say the problems they're more serious than we they appreciate.
Yes.
And again, we make it clear because we don't want it to be partisan. This is not about critiquing free education initiative. We want to discuss what's happening in the education sector. If you go back the 10 ways some of we the campaign, I make it clear. I say if I take over, if I win, I'll declare an education emergency. Because I already knew what had happened in a decade to the education system here. And I worry deeply. I worry deeply. If you can ask the other question, if now 4.5% no more pass, waiting be to the balance 95%. What would they do with it? We just they promote the now go before, because that's what happens in the system now. I don't talk to a lot of teachers. As they begin and fail, then say, well, I don't big for this class, don't you push them before. So you see, they push people then before, and I made the comment in Parliament, a week ago, that we're putting into the workforce misfits, dysfunctional, badly educated people who will not grow this economy. Imagine you go in a hospital, the doctor where they talk to you, na fail, if they fail, or you don't spy, na make a doctor. He call the nurse inside, the nurse way call inside, the only inside they fail. So you get two people, they treat you now in intensive care, the nurse be waiting and they do. I put it in that sense to people then. For CCA, we're talking about a fundamental problem. And you can extend that to engineering. You can extend it to other aspects of the economy. So the problem is so serious, and not to just now, not to the last 2 years. This is a major structural problem in the education system. Number 3, I go tell you, say yes, we've been done invite the Minister of Education, and we initiate, and all of us in Parliament, it was unanimous. We invite them for later, we have been they prepare for COVID. So the point then where you raise, we take note. I should say we go invite them eventually. For say, look, we've been done invite you, and it went very well, 2 full days. We discussed with the minister, we discussed with the deputy minister, how we they prepare for COVID. And you go see, say, yes, the nation do reasonably well with COVID, with numbers then low. But similarly, the point where you raise very relevant. But there are other health indicators that we should address, that we should set targets to really diminish, because we've been in that same position for infant mortality and maternal mortality almost 3 decades. 3 decades. We can move small, go 3-4 points up. We can't turn back. In fact, in 2008, we were at the bottom of the whole world. So indeed, your point is very relevant. We go invite them for camp. Bola left the balance, give me colleagues there.
Okay, I go on to Honorable Sello. Honorable Sello, if you can pick up Usai, Honorable
Yes, I don't join Una. So when you're ready for Milano.
Okay, I go just make Honorable Sello answer the question, and then I go come to you.
Yeah, well, Honorable Unkelado answered the questions already. Just a bit of flesh on the issues. I don't know where you see Sierra Leone talk to you, they give the information them, and with parliamentary proceedings, they go live as well. They cover SLBC, AYV, social media don't improve now. The WhatsApp, YouTube, and you name it. So the land minister not to want to or someone else in a parliament. They don't count a committee. They don't count to leadership. We don't they do that here. So when you say Sierra Leone, the report to you say why will not they summon the Minister of Lands? It don't happen 2 to 3 times. Now for a move emotion now for kind of plenary of the whole house. Like Honorable Kande Yunkela said last week, just as the public was results, the issues that come up, there was emotion. Yeah, they don't put emotion, and the motion was accorded by Honorable Kande, like we see, the minister they come. So about the infant mortality and maternal mortality rates, now issues not to start today, but like we see according to your survey, according to your studies, may not say this government don't put some structures in place where don't they help for reduce the maternal and maternal mortality. One, now during my debates, I talk about that under the health sector. We don't get the referral pathways very, very clear right now. We get community volunteers through the community health workers, we have CHWs, we have volunteers trained by the Ministry of Health, identified, and a geomapping was done with UNICEF by the NGO world, where we position all of the CHWs across the country. We'll be engaging, like I said, UNICEF sponsor them through the Ministry of Health and the DHMTs at the various district level. Yeah, we get a comprehensive data of the CHWs where the sickness that we they cure like malaria, and they can do their rapid test for malaria and do the referrals. So we get a structure. Ambulance services now Sierra Leone. Call on any chief in this country through this government. We don't pre-position ambulances now. Every part, the most like me, I come on a Shabro line, the coastal line, the Honorable KKY, with due respect, na me Kumane. So we come up from the moment come up from the Shabro line. Many cover that. We get ambulances that the interior. First time, my belly had hammock. They will put the hammock before they make the crown on bush. Where they born, you lost the picking, in back in life loss. But now we don't minimize. The government don't try to put things in place. Don't minimize that. Just a call, a telephone call. Ambulance don't reach you. Don't take the pregnant woman to the nearest peripheral health unit. If the CHO or the MCHA they know Ebola, they refer to the district. The ambulance they can't go. Now free service. So these are the structures that have been put in place by this government for minimize or for reduce the maternal and the mortality rate. But in again, if you say it happen and you don't categorically say on average for free time at 10 okay that per day. Well, I'm here to see a report and a survey to administer for get that kind of data there. I'm not going to deny you. I'm not going to answer to that. I'm here to see that. Yeah, I'm here to see that. Yeah.
That's yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. To your last question, you asked 4 questions. To your last question. Come again. What was the last question? I can remember.
So I was writing what I said. One zoning on the disability. We notice say disability is being talked about, but the war amputees are not being included as part of the disabled in distribution, in palliative care. So I understand the president yesterday or whatnot painted a very rosy picture of, taking care of the disabled. But however, what I did not see, or what people make, I not say I, because when I say I, people like if you to say na Matilda they talk. No. Matilda they communicate the message, but not to Matilda they talk. Then one way don't they take care of amputees them inside SALONE from different parts of the world. And also from within SALONE, the one message where they all send to me, and I am talking a number of over 50 different people, okay, individually. And now I know they talk about the association of people, because if I talk about the association of people, the number will go up. Then say, Matilda, a question where we need you for Ask We Parliamentarian them is, why make we amputees them? We want amputees them, not they be considered when these distributions or when these programs are taking place. That was the question.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I think it's about commitment to the whole process and how genuine our intentions are in terms of key deliverables or service delivery. Yeah, I think during the lockdown, we see through the Ministry of Development and the Office of the President and the NACSA, National Action for National Commission for Social Action, NACSA, through a World Bank
we know they hear you clear. We know they
supports the most in the disabled. Hello.
Yes, better.
Hello. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Better.
I say during the recent 3 lockdowns, during this COVID, the government through NACSA and other groups, social welfare, the disabled organizations and other key stakeholders engaged at district level, the whole country. They covered a nationwide exercise that supports their people here with the disabled them with some non-food and non-food items and cash for the lockdown. I think that now is start, and even this budget will pass. you see there's allocation for social welfare, I think, for begin take care of then physically challenged or disabled people. It's not gonna be 100%. We're not gonna get 100% right now because it's a new initiative. It has not been part of the government initiative in this country. Yes, we do houses for war wounded amputees in the country. We get Norwegian Refugee Council will be the sponsor that years back. We will be the school safe. They will not make a sponsor that. Yeah, but this government for take them up as a priority project now for ensure see the aged and the physically challenged or the amputees or wounded, they are part of the development stride going forward. I think we don't make mark in that direction because all over this country we will map them out, and then various institutions them at district, national, chiefdom levels we will forget them, and they present a list. When a verified list will be the exercise. The exercise was not 100% okay. So that me as a chairman of the NACSA committee, NACSA committee in the parliament by then, after the whole exercise, there are some issues. The video go viral, McKinney and other places. We go around this country for seeing really what was the issues and how it happened, what were the challenges, and we made recommendations for going further. I think that recommendation will be worked on by the relevant institutions. We from the now for just not on the there's a lot on the table for us as a government. So let me just look at that and look at the support we don't get so far, and what we plan for do further.
Matilda, we Abdul talk. I go let Honorable Abdul talk. I go let for talk small about this maternal mortality and the ambulance.
Yes. I go cancel you, Honorable. I go cancel you. I want to make Abdul talk, but even before I make Abdul talk, Abdul, I go back to Honorable Abdul Kago. I go come back to you and can ask you this question. Yeah. So, but even before I go to that question, I just want to be precise on my data. I don't talk say now this VOS, maybe una they see me face, but there is a whole host of people them working behind the scene. And I just want to tell Honorable Abdul Selu, when you say people then come to me, yes, I did receive personal call them.
Not Abdul Selu, Honorable Mustafa.
Sorry, Honorable Mustafa Selu, I'm sorry. That was an erroneous error on my part where I for really know, not for switch the names them. I don't switch the names them, but I want to talk for to Honorable Mustafa Selu for making know, like, you know, just last night, okay, just yesterday night, 11 o'clock na net. People they not get me phone number. My phone number not a number where they go to person them like that. But then somebody, they call me constantly from Facebook, constantly, to the point where I say, okay, if somebody don't call me over 5 times, it must be an emergency, because people they know say me policy, I know they pick me phone. If you really want to draw me attention, send me a message and I go judge whether or not it is a conversation I need to engage in. This person called me, it cry. Bitter one. He said, then don't kill me with, then don't kill me with, then don't kill me with. I say, waiting happen. Because at that point, he said, Matilda, I go married me with. If you can't join me and in the Pekin, me and the Pekin, then all two for can join me next month. January, he give me the date. He send me all of the information. He said me wife sick last week, then care and go cannot. I say, waiting happen, then say it gets ulcer. He say, Matilda, before you know it, he say, neck, then they call me now, then say me wife don't die. I say, waiting happen, and say the doctor prescribed the wrong medication. Coming back to Honorable Dr. Yunkela in point. If our nation is not educated, if we not equip with people them with the right education, we not make sure say, then get the trainings them, then get the tools them, we give them the facilities them where they need. Above the facilities, that then get the right knowledge, applied knowledge for conduct and duties them, like where Honorable Dr. Yunkela just say, doctor go fail, nurse go fail, the anesthetician go fail, the pharmacist go fail, but because we get this push and carry mentality and push and carry society, guess what? They all push. Now that make we get a society where graduates, then they call themselves graduates from the university, prestigious university of Frabe College in Jala. You know, you call it the one where they are called, apparently they've now, you know, authorized to become a college, which was a university, which was Milton Magai Teachers College. Then they come out now, then university, then they for write a proper phrase. I'm not even saying sentence here. A proper phrase, they're incapable of that. When they open their mouth for speak English, you're like, okay, what just happened? So sometimes we need for they get serious conversations them. If we know they get serious conversation and speak the truth and just want dust the shelf and cover blankets and pass and go, trust me, we are dancing, you know, like square pegs in a round hole. Now that make from you say people, and no, people don't come to me. People then they come to VOS and then they say, and sometimes people come to me. The one thing I will say is that within Parliament, when Parliament proceedings they carry on, people not get the opportunity for us direct questions and for making us answer them right there and then. The show when me they do, at some point people then get the opportunity for calling, for give them views, for give them concern. You cannot sit here and doubt a show run by a woman where they get 25 to 30,000 views. You know, parliamentary sitting will not see Sierra Leone and then go 25 to 30,000 views. No, so they come, they find another way and then cancel we and they ask we, can you engage? We cannot engage them, but you can engage them. They can tell us what's going on. I mean, I'm not trying to boast here or whatever, but there is something to be said about a show where people and they watch them, they get over 25 to 30,000 views, and people are still engaged, and people and they ask questions. And these are Sierra Leoneans all over the world. Just because they're not in a SALONE mean for say, or most of them not in a SALONE mean for say, then views they not matter, and then contributions they not matter. So I cannot discredit them, and I can't, you know, I'm here to be their voice. They ask the questions, I pose it to the public, or I pose it to people like you who have sworn an oath to represent them, to give them the best, for make life easy for them. You know, within Sierra Leone, fact checking right now, people in the work now, the scene as me they are, so like I say, I am the face, you know. 1,360 mothers dying per 1,000 live birth in Sierra Leone, and most of them then death here are from postpartum hemorrhaging. So then can don't bond the picking them, but then they bleed. And then when they bleed, nothing not there for stop that blood, they nothing not there for coagulate the blood, for make the blood come back together, for make, so they bleed to death. Most of it, like, you know, fact checking, the team they behind the scenes, everything what they discuss now, and they come back and then they tell me, and they fact check. So I might be the face, but I have a whole host of team, including legal bodies, legal lawyers, legal luminaries that are working behind the scene as I speak, as me sit on the talk. So it's not just, you know, us coming here and just want for bring, you know, for make we talk, but we want for talk, but tin them where they affect Mama Salone. This is the country that we claim we love. And if we love this country, we have to fight tooth and nail. No matter the cost, we have to fight tooth and nail for make sure say waiting with people that left Giwi, and waiting we go left Giwi yon picking them, and waiting we yon picking and go left Giden yon picking them. It's far better than waiting we meet and waiting with people that meet. So I don't know if Honorable Abdul Kagbo don't come back. They go in and out, but I go give Dr. Yunkela the floor, and the phone lines are open. By the way, it will be just the 20 minutes phone lines, please, for today, because the issues are important and we need for discussion. And I promise when I say if some of these honorables are willing, I can get a one-on-one sit down with them for go deeper into the issue, because sometimes having a panel discussion, we get a lot of people and they talk, they give we a lot of time for really go into and probe and ask certain leading follow-up questions them where una go like for yeri. So they go to Honorable Yunkela, please say what you have to say, and I'll jump back quickly to Honorable Abdul Kago as he's back on.
Well, again, thank you very much. Part of what you talk now relate to the first question we asked about Parliament functioning. Me, they hope say we go make a now more regular, that we get within and call question time with ministers.
Yeah. Thank you. I have been trying to work on that. They try for work on that, but then they balance me. Make a talk and make
not only for yourself, but we serve in Parliament. For let the minister themselves used to the fact say, prepare yourself for every quarter. Then they invite you, especially for key sectors like education, health, the economy, agriculture. At least then they let the minister then use and now say, radio. Then go call you like UK, like how, because we constitution a blend of UK and US. And then like how then they do congressional hearing in US, because now we constitution copy a lot from the United States. Where you they sit down not to quick fix na morning. You sit down with 2 days, where they go in depth. Like then see how you raise, make I give you 2 case studies. Me own village, like how Honorable Stelu say, get one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the country. Cambia as a district get the highest birth rate. So of course we get some of the highest problems of early childhood marriage. So you can imagine now all them things that we associated with difficult delivery. But now a whole host of problems. The prenatal service is no good. The delivery, I mean, this is a country where they deliver a lot of babies in a net. Yeah, it's normal in the cycle, but they deliver them in the dark. Yeah. So, and then problem, as I say, not to today. Me, maternal mortality rate in our country, it goes back 30 years, but we are not moving much. And what I try to explain to people, don't assume that them problem a quick fix. I put ambulance. Make me tell you, me don't call ambulance 2 months ago for can pick up somebody for me. We were on the phone for a long time. This is not my constituency. So it was a good test of the system. Yeah, and we go through in the end. I give up, I just say, on a lot put on bike, care and go na Cambia. Then do what's in the able do na Cambia. He died last month. Yeah. So in some cases, I know say petrol no day. This is why for them we want a systems approach. If there's going to be an ambulance, there's fuel, the driver is well paid on time, and the monitoring day. Usai Honorable Selu Koma and me come out, it is beyond just ambulance. Most of the deaths that women they get na the river banks, because Usai we come on a delta. And the people that when you go meet campaigns and then say, doctor, the one thing where we want, let we woman then left for disgrace where then they walk out 1 mile, 2 miles for go load na boats for go na your village. But remember, as an opposition politician, me know the bill hospital. Yeah, that's not part of what our functions are, to do the actual infrastructure and development work. No, not so that the constitution say what they do. I'm just saying that's why you need a holistic approach. So when I've been work with the people in the Ministry of Health, I see where we can get ambulance boats. We could ferry them people here. Then you have another problem. If you pull on one of the village that you bring on to Honorable Selu on my own village, who that go take care of them? They say then deliver. So we begin to talk about birthing centers. Now, who will feed them in that birthing center? Just for say to you, this is one issue. So a good way you raise, and we hope say we go back. Say, you know something? It is about time we get a whole session on infant mortality and maternal mortality. Let we talk about that the same way we've been doing for COVID. So it is good you raised it. It's a complex problem. The hemorrhaging. We've been supposed to get a blood bank in the last regime. They're not bilang. And me don't ask last year. There were problems. It was not established. So it didn't happen. When the woman began hemorrhaging, we call the family and say, "Unagi blood." Ideally, that should be stored. Yeah, we should have a blood bank that we get small one, but it's just not strong enough. So why some of them debates are necessary? It's not a criticism of the government. It's a critique of the system for see waiting and waiting we go to improve so that the whole chain, the whole what we call value chain, the whole system, prenatal, in-service and postnatal services occur. And no one program. Then allow the ambulances to bring people then a boats on for deliver. Let me tell you, when they don't deliver, they not get the close set for help and the baby for go back in the village. Now, then the jumper. I know that for free, but that did not start today. That is already 5-6 years ago. So it good for where we debate then. It is not about being defensive or praise. Now, for let's look at the system, say how we go to improve them. Then every year or 2 years, we check whether we don't solve one area or 2 areas in the whole pipeline as we fix the other. But waiting me see in some cases in public policy, now quick fix fire brigade. The problem now can now deal with this one quick, but there are systemic issues. The training, all the things that we mentioned, the skills. Yeah. There's another one last week where somebody came to me for money. If I do cesarean, in where for do cesarean, they don't in a Freetown hospital now 6 days. I say, so which you come to me for? Then say for give money. So again, the money say 500,000. But I said to myself, this is supposed to be free. Now, then Tiago, they lower down in the system. It's not necessarily the top, but then systemic issue, and that make the hotline then good. For letting the report them or owner self na the media, they push them out. So we as parliamentarians also join the government for say, how do we fix the systems? Education is a systems issue. Health is also a systems issue. It's not an ad hoc introduction of one intervention, then we say, oh, the system, they work. No.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Like I said, the phone lines, them open for 20 minutes. I think we get a call. Caller waiting at your name and also you the call from, even as we wait for Honorable Cargo for joining with us.
Martinda, this is Umaru, the call from Switzerland. Good evening. Good
evening, Umaru. What do you get for we this evening, Tim?
Okay. First of all, I just want to make small comment on the 3 visitors and we una get na the studio. We want to know if they did not studio for present the people or then they are for defending political parties then. Because we get to know the difference whether they need as honorable parliamentarians for the people or they need it for the respective parties then. That's my first question that they asked. Then the second question again, we see government after government, all they come at the agenda. You know, the people's agenda, they don't get the people's agenda. Now, waiting them feel say, the government then feel say good for them, then they implement. So we want to know how best the parliamentarians and work with civil societies, at least for develop a national agenda where everybody could benefit, where it not will be partisan. So I'm your question, and how best if they get anything in plan for work with civil societies, them for come up with a national agenda in terms of development, education, and all that in them. We'll go divert from politics and so bet a nationalistic view. Thank you very much.
Okay, I go make Honorable Yunkela answer because the other 2 then they get technical difficulty, and when they come in, I sure go present your question to them.
For sure, we for day for represent the people. That's the people's house. For 5 years, you are elected, and that make me they pray for the freedom where people then go get for something and they talk their mind beyond the party. Yeah, and represent the people. So I go agree with you. Say we first function now for represent the people. Of course, the vehicle we bring win a parliament now the political parties because now that's the constitution dictate. Say you must be a member of a political party or be an independent for let go inside. So we for represent the people then views, and also yes we party them for based on ideology. Hopefully, eventually, where we politics don't mature, where we represent certain ideological positions and principles and values, where they guide the way we they say and do in our parliament. The one where you mentioned, that would be the ideal to have a people's agenda. But wait I will say, this government don't push now, develop with the help of a lot of donors, waiting we call a national development plan, which has gone through a lot of consultations. And when me being the chair, the development committee for a few months, I joined the government again in a constructive manner for go Pujeon, for go Kamakwe, for launch, for sensitize people about that development agenda. Waiting a we own dream. The dream here is that when we get them plan here, if the consultations are done well, together with civil society, we can spend a lot of money in this country on consultations. We pray say some fundamental aspects of then development plan here will go whole enough for be partisan, so that each government continue for work on them. But what do we do in our country? Each government we can they design it on. And when you go place like Ghana, you go Tanzania, of course, Rwanda is different in the sense that it's been the same government for a long time. But waiting missing as on then country and that continuity, because development is incremental and cumulative. When you talk about healthcare, you're not able to do everything 110. So we they pray say like this other development. Remember, we'll be longer agenda, agenda for change, agenda for prosperity. Now we don't get before that poverty reduction strategy papers. I said that in Parliament. Now we get this one. And you look there, some similarities there. Let we hold some pillars then sacred, so that over time, all government they add panada then can change everything. We begin all over again. So, but wait till you describe, hopefully, na the utopian future, that there is an agenda from the people. Yeah.
The utopian future. Well, let the future not be too long. Make I go to the callers then, because I want for close the phone lines and then come back to we parliamentarians them and give them time for finish and round up. So I go take the last 3 calls them. Caller waiting at your name and who say you the call from.
Hello.
Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening, caller. Waiting at your name and who say you the call from.
My name na Janet.
Hello, caller.
I want some questions.
Okay, go ahead. You need to raise your voice up small, please.
Then they will want sometimes na the media, because we need the message for go direct to them anyways. Because what with the Allah and discuss na the media, it not make no sense. It could so sometime for them people they are within at the parliament where they can serve and yeah, really poor people them if they stay for the people then they for na the country. My question is the system then na SALONE, the hospital system, the school system, the poverty system. I don't know which part it they work for, because most of the time now the poor people that they suppress on that issues then they. Parliament ministers them, they say they can't for fed for the people them, which of course the system they work good for the people them. That's now one. And Sierra Leone, that small country and very easy, at least the base system for the intact. But SALONE, now one of the Africa country, really cannot understand the system. It's so bad, and it's very, very sad for the poor people them. We were then at Europe now, they contribute so much hard. Because if each of the people that we call in, I will farm with them or what is there for, with a sorry and do things them for them. These 2 years, parliament, government will come, very, very hardship for a lot of people. They help people in Africa. They do things them for SALONE. Yeah, these 2 years, yeah, so much, in more higher. And we don't know what is the problem. And you can lie say in the parliament. And we think I be even me when they talk to you, so I be even trust and pass some of the parliament leaders, because he don't live na Europe, he don't work in America, he know the system. Oh, now the poor people they put. But in Africa, now other things.
Okay, I go move on to the next call because this caller they cut quite a bit. I think say we get the trust of waiting it try for say. And I go come and address that even as we go on. But I want to close the phone line, so I go take the last two calls. I'm sorry if the queue is long, but I need for wrap the show at some point, and I need for make the honorables them, finish off well and then go to them, personal lives them as well. So I go take the next call.
Hello?
Hello. Yes,
Yeah,
caller, waiting at your name and who say they call from.
Yeah, me na Zainab, the call from Canada.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
I'm glad for this topic we carry, especially the healthcare section at SALONE. SALONE, I don't know, me, part of the family, a lot of people the way we don't lose, we be still and get belly, then die with the belly, then the picking, then the struggle at the end of the day, then self they die because no doctor, no day na the hospital for intervene. For do intervention for save the baby, even if the mama die, but at least the baby save. I don't work in the healthcare system, especially in Guinea. I see the way the system they work. Then I don't born my own picking in a salon. I see the way the healthcare system they work. No doctor on it. Now only nurses in the day. The healthcare system na give me all specialists. If they work na net, you get a schedule where they work na net. Even if you need to work na net, but you get qualified one the way they say, then they go cover you for the whole night. In the morning, all they can then give them reports. When all the specialists they don't see, then give them reports. When they give them report, the critical one then they engage them, know waiting for do. Waiting at the next step, what they take for the one the way they say the condition and critical. The question to the parliament, why the doctors then they know they work on it? Now that's all I get to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. I go to the last call of tonight. Caller, waiting at your name and USA you they call from. Okay, so I go close the phone line. Unfortunately, I know say some people them now then go warm up for begin call, but I go close the phone line for Guy with parliamentary and then Tem. But even before I go to Honorable Abdul Kagbo, because they don't they go in and out for a while, so it gets Baku for say. I just want to say I've been don't talk this Nayaso before. Another show, and I'm going to say it again today, not because Dr. Yunkela is here, but because this na my firm belief, and I'd always, when I know for say, I always they talk thing as a siam, no matter what. I don't always talk say for put a burden on one person and think say because of one person in a parliament, the expectation is that one person they go able change all things. Go able bring all things to waiting on the sea. I say that is an unrealistic expectation, and it not be fair on the individual. So I understand what you on they say. I understand that maybe you think, quote unquote, you've got a savior in there, but you now get for understand say instead they fight an uphill battle. It can only do what it can do to a certain extent. Remember, I always say this, he's not the president, he's not the speaker of parliament, he's not the chief justice, he's not the, attorney general. He is just a member of parliament and a head of a political party. He can only work within the limits and limitation of certain things. I know they try for defend or instead getting him what he go talk for himself, but now this I can always done the say with this issue come up, and I won't shy to say it again, even in front of him. Make I go to Honorable Abdul Kagbo. Honorable Abdul Kagbo, the initial question where I be ask you is Parliament, is it an enabling? Did they provide an enabling environment for make young people them like on ourselves, young parliamentarian and then like on ourselves, speak up, speak on our mind without reprehension, without being cast as the black sheep, without being a cast out like where we don't say in certain occasions them. Waiting are your thoughts and how you think say with the leaders them within the different parties, them go able to fix this thing so for make sure say they integrate the young voices them, they respect the young voices them, and they acknowledge the young voices them.
Well, a greatly first. Sorry for the in and out now because of the internet. Usabe. Interestingly, it depends, from which angle the young MPs then we they come from. But I feel say some of we get the ambience in our parliament for vent out whatsoever we want. Minister they sit down so we dey tell and say this you minister you not try. This way you do so you not for do am. This way you do so you not for do am. And in no circumstance anybody don't regulate wetin we dey talk in our parliament. We are free, we are at liberty for say anything we want in our parliament. Because even the laws them how they operate, the constitution even protect member of parliament. They know they carry you gonna cut for anything where you see inside the world of parliament. You are 100% protected. No court action not they be taken against you. And minus that, the only thing where then go refer you to committee of privilege. Now where you do prima facie defamation, like where you defame person, you try for smear a person in image. The only thing we then go ask you now for withdraw. If you deny say you know they withdraw, then they send you a committee on privileges. Committee on privileges, then they write the report, then come with you again at the plenary. Then they tell you say withdraw. If you deny now, then go take action against you. After they don't prove beyond every other doubt, say what you do na prima facie defamation of character. But other than that, I don't feel say anybody they regulate what we they talk na parliament. We are at liberty because na parliament no more na talk na we weapon. So sometimes and after the victimization, after the this that when we get an opportunity for talk, we they talk. You see, the only weapon we then go use pass sometimes the speaker say no, this person not catch me eye, this person not catch me eye, this person not catch me eye. Because we stand in orders also make provision for the speaker, say na him for catch, na your eyes for catch you, before ever he give an opportunity for talking at parliament. But so far we are at liberty. One of you caller just say, they blame members of parliament, they blame the doctor them. And we don't say one of we moral obligation now for perform oversight function. Each MDA gets an oversight committee in a parliament, yeah. Even the Ministry of Health then get an oversight committee in a parliament. So if the doctor then do anything we not correct, it is incumbent on that oversight committee in a parliament for someone the ministry, someone the doctor in a parliament, question as to what thing then do, whether it correct or it not correct. If possible, with the reprimand, because parliament also get the powers of the High Court in the request of evidence, production of witnesses and all. We get the powers of the High Court, so we can reprimand them. And parliament even gets power, of enforcement. You see, so at the end of the day, in an attempt you want commit contempt, contempt against parliament as provided in section 95. Parliament gets the right for apply section 96, where then go take action against you. So each and every ministry, department and agency, if parliament 100% effective in responsibility, then anybody will misbehave within someone, anybody will misbehave within someone. The only people that will not get right over in a private sector, but once they are public officials, the MDAs then belong to government, parliament get the whole right for someone them. Most time waiting can happen, not so parliament can take action against the member of parliament. Sometimes and then you political party say, hey, this person waiting he go talk, he not talk with party or this person he not talk waiting this so the party can reprimand the person, the party can question the person. But you, an honorable member of parliament not get my right for questioning on any utterance you make na the well. You are at liberty. You get immunity for any word we use na the word immunity. So
and any word used outside of the word as a member of parliament are your civil liberty as a Sierra Leonean entitled to free speech and your own opinion. Is that also respected?
Oh, well, interestingly, members of parliament get immunity even outside the world. They not get right for arrest member of parliament without referring to the speaker. The speaker now get the sole responsibility for revoke the parliamentary immunity of any member of parliament. But look what thing be happen with me, yeah. the last election we then conduct now 110 Agodi, you understand? And the police arrest me, and the police even tell me, say, you will go make sure say you keep quiet in a parliament. Without the revocation of my immunity by the Speaker of Parliament and by Parliament, you know, and then can me go and sell and they lock me with common criminals them, which is on procedural, which is on parliamentary, which is on constitutional, but then do them. You understand? So even with the guided rules and regulation, the guided constitutional provision, it possible say then go flout them. You understand? But if they flout them with the young one, then that's not the change we. I remember after they released me, I go na the well. I said the only time me go keep quiet now when me dead body laid also. Let us in office say go hold me, go lock me. I said if he say this man, I know they can't talk again, no, or this man, I know they can't point fingers per way again, no. That's not big. In fact, I'm more than the ginger myself, or I'm more than the fire me up for talk with not correct. You understand? So even with the prerequisite constitutional provision, then they abrogate them, then they go against them. Then go broke them, then go still arrest you, then go still detain you, or then go still car with other things them, you know. So we yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I think then they don't give enough. I'm not gonna put Honorable Cello on the spot, but with waiting put together, waiting Honorable can Dr. Yunkela don't say, and waiting Honorable Cabo don't say. I know gonna put you in at the spot, but I hope say, as young parliamentarians, as new parliamentarians, or a little bit, or intermediate parliamentarians, I hope say when some of our colleagues them find themselves in hot water for speaking the truth and saying the truth, that una go galvanize around them and make sure say they are not silenced and not being intimidated just because maybe they're not told them party line or whatnot. And I'm going to be very frank here and say, I speak directly to the case of Honorable Tawakonte. I speak directly to the case of Honorable Gavao as well. A man cannot sit and say if a nation stands by and do not support him in a particular, domination upon that nation, and then turn around a few weeks later just to say, I am sorry for blah, 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 blah. Listen, we are not... we can read between the lines, let's just say that, and I am not going to put you on the spot to address that, but however, I will say, can you please address some of the callers' concern, even as we move forward and wrap the show?
Thank you very much. You're not putting me on the spotlight, but I only hope when I'm responding to these issues, you will not bring me back to say I'm digressing. I need to throw light on certain issues here.
Go ahead.
And I think that's the more reason why we are all here. The more the merrier. We need to set the record straight.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to take you back to your survey, that the survey report you are just reading. The reference, maybe the reference report or the reference document you want to know. Then I want to announce to you that recently they've just appointed I know you want to stop me, but I'm not. But I think I have to make this thing clear.
I'm not going to. No. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. There is presently a case management specialist at the Ministry of Health. Yes, to manage case management, to be who is in charge of case management. To one of the callers, we see Dr. Zeni Woklanet. My opinion, yes, now I get right to that. But Dr. Zeni Woklanet, you go to Connaught, extreme end by this mortuary, there's a building there where called a staff house. Then for doctors, where they do nights. They can do 5, 6 as the case may be. Doctors where they can do night. They can do the wards where they don't work till they change shifts, some they go rest while some day on duty, where they make sure some till the morning. So when they go Connaught anytime, not to just the wards, go at the extreme towards Justice Street. Like for Boston Street, there is by the mortuary, there's a 2-story building there. That is the staff house. Now for doctors, then where they do night. Yeah. So doctors work on it. The healthcare system, yes, we know we'll get 100% right now because all of the African countries, they struggle with healthcare. So even the West, not so easy thing because it's very expensive for manage, but we try. Yeah. Then I want for look at the area of speech. We talk about somebody that they silence a person of a talk in the parliament. We are all young parliamentarians, and on the SLP side, I think myself, Honorable Tawa, Honorable Gival, uh, uh, we did a whole lot of we did speak to issues now. We did at the media. We talk about reviews, but you see, there is a party discipline. Yeah, there are certain things you do. You have to follow the party rules and regulations or party norms. I can be a parliamentarian, but the cargo, we want a cargo. Which we come when are the means of transportation at the party. If you see you're very strong and popular enough, you can go independent and come by yourself like the 300 members and will get. Nobody will get anything for do with them because they don't own a new party. 77.1K is not applicable to them because they came all by themselves. They are only answerable to their people. In as much as political party MPs, we are answerable to our people, but we are answerable to our political parties. We give ticket for
parliament. For 1 second. I want to stop you for 1 second. Yes, you are answerable to your political, but who are you answerable to first, and who should you be always answerable to in all of your actions?
It's our constraints. Our constraints are our immediate. They are our immediate bosses. They voted us. They sent us to. We did not wake up one morning and rush to occupy the seats. We are sitting there representing the 70,000, 60,000, 75,000 people that voted us to that particular seat. We are just sitting there on their behalf. We are just sitting there on their behalf. So we are answerable to the nation, Sierra Leone. And always with the say that politicize this issue too much. We are answerable to our country, to our conscience, and our political party. We get internal political discipline. We will not get for just like you go to school. Yes, everybody, all school gets a code of conduct or code of ethics. If you're a teacher, you're a student, you go follow that. If they say if you wear blue and white socks, you go wear black and white socks. They get you come and do. So it's about discipline. So let's don't forget that aspect of discipline as well. I am not saying my colleagues' portion of the petition, but the case don't refer to committee of privileges, and privilege is the investigator. So me, I don't want to dwell on that too much.
And that is why I said I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm not asking you. I made a statement and I moved on.
No, I don't care about that. I'm saying what I'm convinced that is true, and I'm saying things that are within the framework of the national law and the party constitution as well. If you want to deviate or if you want to derail this discussion to another level, I will say no. I will not participate because that is not the mandate given to me by my party. I'm representing my constituency here, but my party. When you send this invitation to me, I engaged my party leadership. They told me, yes, you can go ahead, but if these topics are brought up to you, don't. So I'm speaking to the issue. Anything outside of that, no, I'll not participate in that. So we don't do too much as a government. It's just about the educational sector. Like whenever we say, we say they bring the Minister of Education for questioning, and we get question time in the Parliament. Yeah, every member get rights for do a question, send out to the MDA to the minister for come Parliament and sit and we ask our questions. It happen. Yeah, even the most senior minister, when the chief minister, we call the bill in the Parliament on the peace cohesion. He was there. We asked him series of questions and he responded adequately. So he's the most senior minister for all the ministers. So I want let we look at that. Let we look at that angle as well. For me,
And for
Nobody.
me, honestly, sitting here, let me just say one thing clear. I don't care if you're the president. I don't care if you're the most senior ministers. I don't care about your position. What I care about is that you are answerable to the people, because the people gave you the position. In order to be able to call yourself a minister, the people empowered you to do so. So therefore, the onus and the responsibility is always on you to come back to the people and talk to the people. Your position is irrelevant, but speaking to your people and knowing that, making them understand that you hear them, you know them, you see them, is important to me.
It is important. It is important. That's very good. I know that. That is extremely good for a good presentation or submission by you. But what's me is saying right now on the issue of the education. Yeah, we all long go school. They introduced to this new system. Yeah. Now I will say when are the guinea pigs. Now we start okay, second batch. Yeah, we go through this. But some of us are here today as members of parliament. We can stand in the world, we can speak, we can articulate very well, we can write good English, we can speak good English, because our foundation, what we said, was very good. We started on a solid foundation. Not like now you see people go through university for the past 10 years, 11, 14 years, 11 years. People don't go through university. I don't see people with masters. When they see to write English, you cannot imagine. So it's a generational cause. It's not this, like we can say, not the free education, because the free education is a circle. The impacts, we're not going to talk about impact at this point. I talk about debates where somebody they say the one colleague talk saying the impact of the free education, now they see. So I say, come on, how can we? This is a program. It is not a project, and we know they look at the impact at this level. And impact to one person, responsible contribute to impact. For people who know programming, Dr. Kane know about that. You, the parents, they contribute to the impacts. The teachers, they contribute to the impact. The society, they contribute to the impact. The school, you say they contribute to the impact, because the impact at a higher level of the at the peak of the pyramid. You know, all government they do now for get the inputs when they recruit more teachers, train more teachers, provide school buses, provide teacher learning materials, and provide more school buildings, provide furniture, and give school materials. That the government they do as an input. So the impact or output or outcome level, not the government responsible for that anyway. But if we get a result like this, then it means probably the system is now set to a point that we are really having a way of screening the pupils now, because before now, honestly, we are getting 40%, 50% pass rates for the past 10 years in all the public exams. But you go to universities now, check for the year 2 year, 3 years, final year students. Some of them, talk to them, tell them to speak English for just 1 minute or 2 minutes. The tenses they cannot control. They don't have control over their tenses. They cannot articulate very well. They can't write good English. So it's a whole foundation problem. So when we talk about the minister, yeah, we are calling the minister. The minister will come and answer to some of these questions, because he has taken over. This is just first year. So you don't get much for do with that. We are calling him to answer to questions. But what has the minister really got to do with student their way for what take note and study? They study. Where exam day recently there was a video where don't go viral of a school girl wearing uniform. I don't want to go there, in fact. So you see, we self-responsible as society. Excuse me. So for gather impacting, even the development partners, the NGOs who are in the country, they support we in education, right? So for we all get reach at that top, whether the impact. So for we completely circle and begin get impact out of the free quality education, it has to take a whole circle. By the time we don't this system don't start from the one don't start class 1, or let's say the one don't start class 6, they come from 1, they come from 2, they come from 5, they come SS3, they go university, they done. And at one circle, let's say 10 years, they will get a circle of the free quality education. They will begin test, say, no, these are the impacts of the product and this of the free quality education. You see, the learning outcome will tell you that, and how do they deliver how do they present themselves and comport themselves in society. But really, with the educational system, we all get part for play, we get a role for play. Because some parents, that they give them money for go bribe in school, for go buy a leakage, for go give teacher for sure. So all of the parents themselves get a role for play in this. The students is second for study. Like me, take me anywhere, I will stand and talk. If I say I sabi maths, count any maths problem at the solver. If I say I sabi physics, count physics question at the solver. But it's not like that. Now somebody will say I'm masters, I'm BSc honors in this, I'm BSc honors in accounting. This. Come on, simulantry. You give you're not a solver. Let alone you say partnership account or. So it's a whole issue. It's just that I'm being sandwiched by my two colleagues from the opposition side. So like I'm in the middle on the government side, which is not bad. But the issue.
And I think that's what it is supposed to be, because then we have a fair play. It's not about government bashing. You are there to defend.
I appreciate that. I'm not defending. I'm just setting records straight, and that's my rule here. For my presentation or my submissions, I've been very objective, and I'm putting the record straight. I'm citing the references and So, like I'm talking about the doctors who works at night. I'll be able to identify the structure that house them at night. For those who work at night, you go to Connaught, you can see them. You know, they're working at night. So it's just about setting records straight. I'm not saying I'm here to defend the government, but when the government is doing well, we have to tap the government on the back that they do well. We have their issues, we come with the issues so that we can be able to correct. Because when we fail as a government, it's not just SLPP, it's about the whole Sierra Leone. It's 5 years Sierra Leone is going down because we are in power for 5 years, and the next 5 years again, SLP will win election and we stay in power for 10
years. Okay, we're not here to campaign, neither are we here to project.
I'm just saying campaigning. So we all have to put our hands on deck to ensure that this government succeeds. If this government fails, we are going to fail as a nation. When the government succeeds, we are going to succeed as a nation. Like Dr. Koyomkela said, government is continuity, it's incremental. The government is incremental, cumulative. We've introduced the free quality education. When the last regime introduced the free health initiative, we did not unbundle it. We just improved on some of the areas and to build on what they started already, and we are going with it. Now we've introduced free quality education. Any government that comes after us, who succeed us, will now just build on the challenges and go forward. So we'll not be coming back and forth and so say we're going to start all over again.
Okay.
Excuse me. So that's the spirit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, even as I make una final statements them and say goodbye to people, we fumble them. I want to ask una all the one question why they ask una answer and then una say una final goodbyes for today. So the question is this: I want to know what una thoughts about diasporans contesting in the upcoming election. Not only for parliamentary seats, not only for councillor seats, but for the presidency. What are your thoughts about diasporan contesting, especially for the presidency in the next coming election? I will start with Dr. Kande Kole-Yunkela.
Thank you very much. Mayor, not to even opinion, my own action. Indeed, I don't draft together with some colleagues especially from APC, but also on another item in that bill there with some colleagues in SLPP. And I don't work very closely with the government now for almost 2 years. They do waiting. Prepare an omnibus bill. An omnibus bill means not to one thing they address a package. Number one, in that bill where I don't send to Attorney General in July, I'd also send to the leadership of Parliament in September. Number one, for open the political space. Let we give 30% of the seats in Parliament to women and other elective positions as well, council or go up, for open that space there. Number two, in that bill, yes, for allow diaspora for seat in Parliament. However, we no one let a dual citizen be President, Vice President, Speaker, Chief Justice. We exempt them from certain positions. But we believe, say yes, for allow them for hold public office. Number 3, we also believe, say, for expand the political space some more, that people no need for resign 12 months before they can contest. We believe, say, for lower and to 6 months. So this bill, beyond lobbying, I don't spend 2 years, they lobby on this. I go give a lot of credit also to the government, because we don't work on this, we don't work State House. Maybe non-Senate as a bill, as part of the strategy where we develop. And also, I go give credit to Honorable Cherry Coco, we done day together on this. Chief Minister, Mr. President, as you see last week, I go visit Honorable Vice President Sef, the Attorney General, women's groups, for open the political space. So some of their ideas here, you go see now in the new move for the report we get for Common, for the what you call constitutional review process. Then therefore make an estimation now whether we left into that process, or yes, then gazette the bill where we don't send forward very soon. So for we, yes, as a party, as an individual, I believe that, say me don't be victim. So this bill not benefits me at all. But I look at the future, and I recognize, particularly diaspora, say then they send to this economy over $250 million every year. Now we look what in Ghana don't do. The best, of course, na Senegal. We don't even give a policy document to the government where they look at go give State House credits, because we don't they go back and forth over time. And so I pray, say in the next several weeks, then go gazette them, or next year, as part of this constitutional review process, they go come to Parliament in another form. So we'll get a two-pronged approach. And but indeed, I believe say certain positions should be exempt. Also, it left to the party if they want a residency requirement. May not believe say you need a residency requirement, but the political parties can decide, say, well, if you want with symbol, if you don't there 3 months old, if you want with symbol, here are the conditions. But me believe, say, some parts of the constitution being discriminatory, not fair to professionals. As Selu been said earlier, some people get for resign 12 months. And fortunately, not just my opinion, now also the opinion of the Peter Tucker report, that for reduce them from 12 months to 6 months. So we've been put in one bill, what we call an omnibus bill, probably first of its kind here. It's already in Parliament. We go see now which strategy we and government and other members of the opposition will take. But it's a holistic approach to open up the political space. The last comment I want to make in closing is that, look, I pray say many people where they listen this show, and I congratulate you, say you got about 30,000 people where they watch, and I hope say a lot of them are SALONE. Wanna try for be parliamentarians. Parliament's in a good place for citizens for serve their country. You get 5 years. This constitution protects you a lot. We need a lot more people for coming. We're able to talk for the people, talk for SALONE, but also with technical competence. Now that make me they push even the opening space. You need some technical competence. They become an energy expert overnight, or a health sector expert overnight. So they encourage a lot of I should say my colleague themselves go do that, both diaspora and then one way they SALONE, and a lot of women. Una can parliament law town like Rwanda, where they get over 50%, or Denmark. Me no say when enough women and then some levels of governance, we go deal with that corruption issue. We go get more sympathy with the ordinary man, because now so woman the nature time. So anyway, I go encourage a lot of women. And last comment is, look, my wife involved in an accident the last 2 weeks, and I realized the capacity constraint in the health sector. Now this country we get only 2 neurologists. Now this country we only get 3 eye surgeons, 2 in a public service, 1 day out. The public surgeon, the surgeon then for eye, where I go to the office. Sorry for that. The one person that day in 20 operations even they do. So we get real capacity constraints what we get for expand. So that possibly they say, doctor, they're not in a net, doctor, then in a net. Just that, do. The numbers then too small. Again, this is not a perennial problem. That's why, again, they push. We look at it systemically. You need certain infrastructure. You need better blood bank system. Now, all kind of locations, na Makeni, na Bo, na Cambia, then side, and they Kailan, let the blood there on site. But for do that, you need energy services. we go keep the blood at the right temperature. Even vaccines, like own at the arena for vaccines. Now that make you see like me, always they push the energy issue. Without effective energy services, they get effective health service delivery because the diagnostic machine, they need power. I give you a good example. In this accident when my wife involved, we go on site for scan, then get for put the scanner on 45 minutes before they use them, and then get for switch it off back. In another location, they need for put the MRI machine on for 14 hours. Why? Because they can't keep it on. The cost is too high and the power is not reliable. It could affect the calibration. So there are these capacity constraints. We they look at a systemic capability building for the health sector. We make again something and they're not a partisan. We genuinely look at it and we all say how we go help everybody. I didn't know we'll be involved in an accident. My wife will be involved in an accident where I have to go back into the public service. The private sector being get a limit. So 19 years, I say, we within a parliament, we service get for day for the nation because you never know whether it's you or your constituents and others, we get for day, whether it's education, health, agriculture, and so on. Now for everybody. So let's put SALONE first. I congratulate you. Now I thank my two colleagues, Honorable Selu and Honorable Kago, where we there on this debate. And we all, by the way, we all have greeners there. We don't do 3 years, we're not on full expert yet. When I make on 10 and they were knocking afraid for Kana Media because we all knew first. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yunkela. I go to not see Honorable Kagbo, it don't cut out again. So I will go to Honorable Selu, your last words, and also address me last question.
For tonight.
Yes.
Anyway, thanks very much for being very, very, very crafty and professional in bringing Dr. Kanda Yunkela's proposed bill in a question form so we can discuss it. That's awesome. That's good. That's good. For me, I believe in myself. Yeah, self-confidence. I don't really want for talk on the issue on the qualification of the diaspora to take elective positions in this country because the party constitution, my party become very clear and it encourage people then for participate, whether you be diaspora or not, for both presidency and member of parliament. But there is a caveat, there's a clause there that said you must be an ordinary resident for number of years, not like, for B, but for be a resident, permanent resident for some years, ranging between two to 3 years. Ordinary resident and permanent resident are different. You can come and go, but you need for like the touch base, not to like you just can't 2 month election, 3 month election. It could be very bad representation as well. So we need to look at that. But that's another category of fish. Not left that for another discussion because when Honorable Kanda presenting in a private member bill, then sorry, I just get a blackout, but I try to switch on the generator. I get blackout quick we say the location at the upcountry. But yeah, they switch on the generator. All right. They will switch on the generator in a few minutes from now. So for me, I am not against people contesting for elective positions from the diaspora. It's about what you've done to people. Yes. It matters in Africa politics or Sierra Leone and how close you are to the more the merrier. Whosoever one camp, let it come in for can contest. Like Dr. Kanda Yunkela don't talk about you. The power is back. Okay, thank you. Like Doctor don't talk. Me on the whole, we left that particular aspect for the debates that well. Yeah, we go champion that, and we go discuss that. This initiative of the diaspora participating in elective position, not to just me and Honorable Dr. Kande Yonkela, we don't on the Foreign Affairs Committee. We've served on that committee. The first year when he came, he was our chairman. We went for a meeting and within some diplomatic circle, and it came up. Some diplomats brought it up and the issue. There were some issues discussed. I don't want to discuss them here now. Dr. Kande and I know about that. So if they come up, it's not something surprise to me. I'm not scared. I'm not speaking the minds of everybody, but for now, let's put it aside and let's wait when the bill comes to Parliament. You're here. We have to take it to our people. We have to explain to our people to look at it, how they look at it, how they see it. If there's something that they welcome, they will come to the well and support it wholly. If it's something the government and the rest of parliamentarians support, why not? So it's not, nobody is stifling anybody here. So thank you very much for being part of for bringing us to the people, so that people will see us and hear us or hear our views on the particular governance issue. We hope people who could not make calls tonight because of maybe the queue, they will have time to make calls the subsequent programs. But on the whole, we appreciate and we thank you for bringing us together as parliamentarians to enlighten the public on key issues on governance and how Parliament operates in Sierra Leone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. I still not see Honorable Abdul Kagbo Day on yet. I think he still get a bit of connectivity issue. Again, that is Sierra Leone, right? Okay, me fumble them. I tell you now how this idea of the show come about. For me, I respect individuals. I respect the office where people they all, but I care more about the action done, the action where people they take within that office day. So sometimes when I can say I don't care about people in title, I don't care about people in position, waiting I care about now waiting and they do for the people them. I strongly mean that. That they not mean say I don't respect your position. That they not mean say I don't respect your title. Yeah, I respect your title, I respect your position, but at the end of the day, waiting me care about. And waiting, I think, say all Sierra Leoneans then for care about now their action, waiting and they bring forward, waiting and they do for people then. This afternoon to certain parts of the world, or even term or net na certain parts of the world, at some point, it was hot. At some point, it was questionable. At some point, it become really real. But one thing in a no go ever doubt is that everybody come and then stand in the truth and then speak in all honesty from their own perspective. One thing I will say is that some of the things that we discussed today, like how, the light out business or the doctors, they're not in a hospital. Not to all side doctors, then in a hospital. And I can say that with certainty. So inside and the doctors, then they in a hospital na net. So inside and the doctors, then they can at the hospital na net. And then because of the blackouts, then they left the patients, then they go sleep. And then closer to them clocking out, then one come back, then they. People don't make up these stories. This is what you call empathy. People don't make up these stories because na inside salon them born, na inside salon them come out. They not get anywhere else for go past salon. So if then they tell you waiting meets them, if then they tell you their experience, there is no point to discount their experience because then they tell you based on waiting they don't experience. So me, Matilda, I no go sit down here, so time without number, the same story. They say, Usai fire. Then say, Usai smoke, the fire must they. Time without numbers, the same stories, the same thing. And then for say, when the story don't become similar, obviously there is some amount of truth to it, or there is a lot of truth to it. We educational system, they in serious crisis. And like I say, me not go blame the current education minister for the crisis where we find ourselves. No, because this crisis now, it don't take time. It don't take decades for build. It don't take a lot of time before it come na this, this point where it is so. But education is not all up to government. Education, like I always can say, the community need for be part of the education. The parents need for be part of the education. The village, as we call it, need for be part of the education. The system need for be part of the education. The parliament, the government, the institution, the educators need for be part of the education. Now that make the last time I say, I call on the current Minister of Education. I say, make we get a roundtable discussion, not just involving you, involving some parents, involving some of the educators, involving some of the lawmakers, involving some of the curriculum writers. Make we see what thing they go on, because obviously this not a crack, this not a big hole, Sometimes there's a crack in the system and you can put glue over it and, patch it up. It don't pass crack, or it don't pass that na Kington Bridge bar or that other bridge where the BB crack the inside there, where the picture they circulate. It don't pass that crack there. So we need for be real. We need for be honest. Until we are real, until we are honest with ourselves, we're not going to move the needle forward. The only time we go able to move the needle forward now where we get real conversations. Sometimes then conversations they then go be hurtful. Sometimes then conversations then go be uncomfortable. But what is important is that we have not only have the conversation, but that we act on it. Action is very, very, very important. We get for act on it. We can't just talk no more, and we know the act. You see, when we sit on Ayaso just now and the honorable is say lights don't go, I smiled and I laugh. Because you see, the opportunities given are not equal. Because in a live show right now, in the process of it, lights go, able to put on a generator, come back on, continue as though nothing has happened. How many of our people can do the same? You see, I can always say, giving water to a town of people is not taking care of the issue, because it only serves a little portion of that town. But actually fixing the pipe in the community is social justice. It's making sure everyone in that community have water. And then going forward, and making sure of that, it go mean say the little things then where you able do, everybody in that community they self back able do them. If they're not even able do unto your capacity, at least then don't get the space, then don't get the tools, then don't get the opportunities for able for do them. And then guess what? It trickles down. That way the community, people are not going to die anymore of pipe-borne water. People are not going to die anymore of thirst. The township will be, equipped for deal with, say, the gardening issues, the agricultural issues, and go begin feed themselves. Ensuring that everybody in that township, not just that community, have access to water is creating value. Because guess what? Now they have access to water in that township, in that entire village, in that entire province. Guess what? The other provinces will follow. They will have enough to trickle down, and then the distribution continue. It's a cascading effect. Moving even deeper, checking in to see if everyone still has access to the water. That is what is called ensuring that the pipes are not corroded, ensuring that, we they do the development, ensuring that we they do checks and balances, ensuring that, we they make sure, say, we they put everything in place, and we not just they put them in place and left and go, but we they come back and check and make sure, say, the pipe water they work properly, make sure, say, bolo not the inside, bolo the inside. We try for make sure, see how we go clean them. That is the Sierra Leone we are looking for. That is what we expect from our lawmakers. That is what we send our parliamentarians. Now that make we send with parliamentarians, then they go inside, so that we all go experience, we all go drink that clean water. If even self, it takes small time for make the water reach you, but what is sure that water they go reach you. Even as we sit here, so where I see, the honorable and lights go off and come back on, and the ease and comfort, that is the comfort that me, Matilda, they pray for all Sierra Leonean. That is the comfort that I wish for all Sierra Leonean. That, we day in a society, in a country where we all go able to drink water, and the water where we they drink, it no go cause we rumbele. But we go choose for drink them in the amount where we want for drink them. I want for tell all my panelists them thank you. I want for tell them boku thank you, because right now it don't let na free tongue, and then take the time for can engage with the people them. I want to tell Honorable Abdul Kagbo, thank you for in facilitation. I want to tell Honorable Mustafa Selu, thank you for where he show up. I know as a member of the ruling party, sometimes you might think I'm coming at you, I'm being hard. But no, this is how I talk. This is how I run my shows. I am hard on everyone, because I want for make we get to the issues. I want for make we deliberate. I want for make we think. Listen, me questioning the government is a good thing, because by me questioning you, it means say you go get time for reflect and correct some of the thing then where you feel say you did it right, but where you know they do right. It means say it give you a better chance for when the people them, when you scorecard come, and when the people that need for check you scorecard, then go check them in such a way that then go say, okay, not also we feel, oh, we know this, we know that, then go check them right. I want to say thank you very much to Dr. Yumkela for where he availing himself. As a matter of fact, when I say, at the time forget Dr. Yumkela, most people, and I don't go by hearsay. They were like, oh, I don't think it will come. I don't think it will this. I'm like, no. I am going to approach him, and they up to him for say yes, they up to him for say no. But at the end of the day, I know him saying no will be a disservice to the people he's serving. So watching from afar the man that he is, I'm pretty sure he will say yes, because he will want to engage with his people and let the people know what is going on and have a discussion with the people, because not to every time then they get the opportunity for engage with the diaspora in particular, not to every time then they get the opportunity for engage with the diaspora and the local people at the same time. As I talk, so people and then a salon where they listen to the show right now on the radio, people and then na Instagram where they watch this show live right now, people and then at YouTube where they watch this show right now, people and then also na Facebook where they watch this show, and so many other different platforms them where they watch this show. But I tell you all, thank you for the time, and to your wife, I wish I'm speedy recovery, Madam Philomena. I wish I'm speedy recovery, from the accident, and make it get back on his feet, and carry on the work way they do to una all. From the VOS platform and from myself, the host Matilda J. Cole, I tell una all beaucoup thank you for where una avail una self, where una yeri me next time una no run because now then they can happen like, hey, that Matilda, hey, small pepper, make a balance and force. But to Dr. Yunkela, let me say this. We have moved past the 30% quota. Right now, I believe what we should be looking at for women is a 50% quota. A 30% quota, I believe, was like a decade or 2 decades ago. I think at this point, if we are really serious, one, I can always say, make we revisit with constitution, make we review with constitution, make we make sure say we get solid, a solid constitution with solid safeguards and clear, explicit, mandates them and limitations them inside there. But moreover, I think it is very, very, very important, absolutely important, that we move the needle from the 30% expectation to a 50%. Thank you all very much. I thank the viewers them we tune in from all over the world. Listen, Mama Salone, we all get it. No matter who side we find we safe in the world, there is always that yearning to go back home. There is always that nostalgia. Me man can say, you come alive when you talk about your country. You're so passionate about your country. Yes, I do come alive when I talk about my country. I'm very passionate about my country because I want the best for my country. If I see anything that also where people let me feel to say na a plot or not a ploy, trust me, I not talk to any of una today about the questions them where I get for ask until una all show up na yaso. And this is how I do my thing. May God bless we all. May God continue for open way for we. May God continue for give we waiting with the look for na this world. Make it continue for cover we all. And I believe say one day in the not so distant future, working together as a team, working united as a nation, Mama Salone go before. I tell you now, thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody. Good to see you.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Matilda.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Matilda. Bye. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
See you again.